Okay everybody, welcome back. Quick update on how things have been going over the last week or so. So today we're just giving it another final clean. We're aiming to put the gold tape onto the airbox. A minor heat reduction, obviously it looks pretty cool in line with the build theme being a Ducati V4 RS. We've done a bit of a mock-up to see how the custom exhaust is going to work. I'm thinking about building that myself out of titanium and getting it welded up, which will be a great learning curve for me. So we'll see how that goes. Still waiting on the adapter for the Ducati wheel nut to arrive, so we can get that taken apart and the swing arm sent away to be extended. I was kind of thinking 3 to 4 inches. I'm probably thinking 3 inches, 4 inches is just going to be too long. 3 inches is arguably too long. It's pretty long as well, but that's kind of the look I'm going for. It's certainly going to help with the wheelie control on that. Fuel tank, that's going to get stripped down. It's going to get repaired. So this was off a different bike. Got a bit of a boo-boo there that just needs panel bashing and maybe a little bit of welding. Hoping to get the fuel tank extended to kind of 22, 23 litres via getting the bottom part cut and a new section made and welded onto that. So that's kind of the rough idea with that, but there's definitely going to be clearance issues with the Olean shock and the stock headers, so I'll have to work around that to come up with a good idea of what's going to work with that. Other side of the house, we have the Olean FGR 700 gas forks. Went down to our Superbike shop in North Carolina, Asheville. Link in the description to get a pedometer link. That's going to go a little bit higher for when the shock sensors arrive. This arrived today. This is actually a Panigale V4 triple tree or lower triple clamp, whatever you want to call it. Has had a little bit of an accident there, so I'm going to tap a thread in there so there's a bolt, so it's got some sort of steering stop for that side. That's probably all going to get stripped down and polished in silver is my idea of that, because the cast is a little bit rough. I didn't go for an aftermarket one, just can't really see it being worth the money versus kind of stripping one of them back and polishing it up will look just as good with that for the FGRs up front. So that's kind of where we're at today. We'll get cracking with this. Oh yeah, sorry, forgot about the subframe. Got the subframe, yet again another cheap and damaged part off eBay. So got to make a repair to one of the brackets here. Okay, that bit goes onto that side, so I'll make that repair there. Another little repair to be made there. All of these parts pretty much are probably going to get coated in a colour to be confirmed. So it's not going to look OEM. It's going to look something different, which is the idea of this. Loaded titanium bolts have started to arrive. The larger titanium bolts for the shock and swing arm. This is a swing arm linkage, actually from AliExpress. This will allow it to sit a little bit higher, which is what which is kind of my preference with my Ducatis. It's got a number of different adjustment holes, so that's going to be quite useful to kind of dial in that adjustment. Load of titanium bolts, loads more titanium to arrive. Pretty much every single bolt, as I put it back together, I'm going to replace it, each bolt with a titanium bolt of various colours throughout the build. So I'll start with the back end, get that all finished. A few bolts on the engine also will get replaced, not all of them, but a majority of them. And then obviously move on to the front part of the bike to get the rest done. These are going to get pulled out. I might try and do that today after giving the shock a good clean. This was again off another damaged Ducati off eBay for a decent price, which is kind of the theme with this build, is trying to get most of the parts off eBay where I can, and so this will come in significantly less than what you'd buy in the showroom, even as just a standard Panigale V4, but will be significantly better because obviously all the race parts and all the modifications that I'm going to make along the way. So yeah, these are going to get pulled out, and then we're going to get the manual adjusters installed once I get those ordered. Thinking about some sort of pneumatic dampener, hydraulic dampener, rebound compression, should I say, for this, if I can find one kind of the right size for that. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. There is a few more parts that have arrived since, but we'll get to them as and when the build progresses. So that's all for now, and I'll check back in with you guys once I've got all the tape put on, and we start to get everything else ready. Cheers, bye. As I last left you, the airbox was getting done in gold. That came out pretty good, using two different variants of gold tape, a slightly thinner one and a slightly thicker one, as I've done before in a few other of my builds. So that's all done and dusted now. Cleaned up everything, gave the rear shock a good clean here, and some of the titanium bolts continue to arrive, so that's pretty much got a full titanium bolt set up. The lower shock linkage, this guy is the longer variant, and I want my tail to be slightly higher, so I've got the one to higher the shorter variant, which will raise the tail on its way as well. Cleaned up the exhaust, so that's looking way better. Still not too sure what I'm going to do with the exhaust system. I'm still thinking about custom making a titanium mid and end section and just keep the stock headers cleaned up like that, or I might go for the one of the race spec Terminoli systems, or maybe an Acro. I don't really want to spend that kind of crazy cash on it. Swing arm is currently away with my man in Canada, who's all over modifying that. Link in description. I'll do a bit more on him and what he does once the swing arm gets back down here, so that's going to be pretty amazing. It's going to be 3 inches longer. I didn't want to go crazy long. I still wanted it to be a superbike, not a drag bike, but I certainly wanted it to be just a bit longer, kind of like racing superbike specification. Frame, hopefully got a frame in the UK if he turns out to be legit, so I should hopefully be picking that up in about a month's time when I just head back to the UK to check out the cars and stuff, so that will be great news if that is the case. And once I've got all that back, I'll aim to take off a lot of the kind of frame sections, the footrest mounts, that sort of thing. They're all going to get Cerakoted, probably in the old Ducati magnesium type colour. Same with the frame. I'm thinking the rear the swing arm's going to probably be silver, similar to the old proper Ducati RS model would be on the race bikes. This I'm looking at a couple of other options for the subframe, so I'm not too sure what I'm going to go for with that, so I may end up going for one of the kind of aluminium race variants out there, so we'll wait and see what goes on with that. But if I do end up keeping that, it does need a couple of repairs. That will also be going magnesium as well. Footrests are on their way, the Ducati Corsa racing variants. They're lovely bits of kit. I had them on my 1199 Panigale R, so that's going to look amazing when they arrive. So hopefully in about a month's time it's all going to start coming together in terms of the chassis getting finalised. Loads of other parts on the way, so I missed quite a few things as the triple camp arrived for the forks, if I didn't already cover that. So the forks will be slowly starting to take shape as well. So I'll probably aim to touch back with you guys once the swing arms kind of back, and we'll get that installed probably on the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.